Hi there and welcome to this drawing tutorial where I'm going to sketch a little geisha girl, and I thought this was just a real amazing picture with all the ornaments dangling from her head. And what I do first is I draw a circle, and that's like the Andrew Loomis method. He draws in a sphere and then he cuts off the sides. So just draw in a circle, cut off the sides, and then draw a vertical line. Now then what I do is I try to figure out where the hairline is and where the brow line is. When I add 1/3, I instantly know where the nose line is. So this is 1/3, this is 1/3, and then when you add an extra third area, then you will know where the chin line will be. Now all that you will have to do is draw in the jawline and then putting it up towards the skull. So the first circle was the roundness of the skull, and then we just added the jaw underneath it. Now should you want to watch the whole process in real time, then you can find me on Patreon. So if you want to join me there, please do, or just watch this video, that's all okay. Now I've placed in the mouth underneath the nose, and then I try to figure out where the eye sockets will be. Now the model is oriental, so I have to figure out if the placement of the eyes will be correct. And as I'm drawing this, I'm already figuring that they might be in a little bit too low. So once I have that, I just erase them and place them a little bit higher. Now you can see the first eyes, but that's no problem at all. Just place them a little bit higher, and I wanted to show you. And then just go over your initial setup. And it's no problem, as you can see, no problem at all that you can see a little bit through, because once I draw in the eyes on the correct place, you will not notice that at all. Now that I'm happy with the eyes, I can place the eyebrows, and I start to look for the hair. Now the hair is all the way stitched up on top of her head, and over the hair there are a lot of ornaments and nice, very nice shapes in some kind of gold. And what she also has is that nice long neck, and from the back of the neck there are there's some kind of scarf going over her shoulders and then popping in front of us. So I want to keep that feel of that scarf going around the back of the neck. Now once I have this, I can get rid of the little helper lines, so the center lines and the line for the circle, and then I can start adding in the little beams that are dangling in front of her face. And I do not want to exactly copy the reference picture, not at all. I just want to make that impression of beams dangling in front of her face and the hair all stitched up on top of her head, and there are some kind of stakes or hairpins coming from her hair. And from those hairpins there are little boats dangling down and some kind of banners going downwards. So that's what I want to try to achieve in this little sketch. And I'm simply using a charcoal pencil and a very cheap newsprint paper. And it's just a mere sketch. It's the way I would sketch before making a painting or a big pastel drawing, for instance. I would always go in first and make a little sketch on the army paper, just to get the feel and to get acquainted to the model. So, well, my tip for you is before taking out your expensive paper or your precious canvas, first just start drawing a little sketch on the cheap ass paper and, well, get to know your model that way. What I also love to do with the charcoal is to look for lights and shadow. Now, if you watch carefully, you can see that the light in this case is coming from the right side. So the left side of the face is covered in shadow. This also goes for her robe that she's wearing. Also the left shoulder, the robe going over the left shoulder is darker than the robe on the right side. Now, in order to get some 3D going on, you really want to look for lights and shadows. What is also a great tip is to give your background surrounding area a gray value. Because when you do that, the right side of the face, which is all covered in light, the sun is shining on the right side of her face. In that way, the right side of the face will pop out even brighter. Now, at first I didn't want to draw in the earrings, but now that I'm watching my little sketch here, I thought it would be nice after all to draw those in. And the earrings are just behind her cheek line, so that's a nice detail. And once I have on enough charcoal pigments, I just take a paper cloth and I rub in those pigments into the paper. And then what I do is I start looking for light. And I'm using, here it is, a pencil eraser. So this is not a white pencil, it's an eraser shaped in a pencil, and you can sharpen it as a pencil, and in that way you always have a very sharp eraser at hand. And because I pushed in the pigments with the paper towel, there's a very thin layer of charcoal pigments. And all I have to do is touch the paper, and in that way I can draw back in the light. This also gives your sketch a very soft feel. And it's a very quick way of drawing. And I draw out some of the beads, and I'll try to figure out where the gold is the brightest. And in that way I can make those banners that dangle down from the hairpins, I can make them pop out a little bit better, all with the pencil eraser. It's a very nice tool to have, And once you're happy with the lights, you can go back in with the charcoal pencil, and then you can add a little bit of detail there where you want them. Whatever makes your drawing work, just try it out. You do not have to make an exact copy of your reference picture. You just want to make a drawing that appeals to you and that pops off the sheet. It has to be as 3D as possible, and it's a soft feel that I get. It's just the feel that I would want if I was to paint a picture or something, or if I was to make a huge pastel drawing. So this is just a mere sketch, a mere study, but I'm already forcing myself to watch closely to my model. I even push up the gray value here in the back to make my model pop out even more. So that's also something you can easily try when you make use of something very simple like a charcoal pencil and some newsprint paper. Just try to figure out where the darkest darks are and where the brightest lights are, and then you get that great feel of 3D going on. Now for here in the rope, I will just add a little bit extra shadow to make that rope pop out a little bit more. And here you can actually see that the left shoulder is darker than the right one. And well, there you go. Just a quick sketch. I did it in, well, just an hour, but it's so much fun to do. So if you want to draw along with me in real time, you can join me on my Patreon page, of course. And well, of course, I also hope to see you again in one of my YouTube tutorials. So take care and thank you for watching.